My GF asked for an open poly relationship. I said no, and now she's acting strange. My girlfriend, 28 female, and I, 26 female, have been in a relationship for 3 years and a few months now. But not long ago, she started sliding in hints before full on telling me that she wants to try an open or poly relationship. She asked about this before, at the start of our relationship, and I thought that I made it clear that I am monogamous and not interested in that. Now she's asking again and saying how we could both even share a girlfriend, or we could be open and hook up with whoever. I told her no and asked her why she was pushing this again. She says that it could be a way to spice up our sex life, and I said something like, okay, well, I'm not into that. You know that. So no go. She got agitated and said to just try it, which pissed me off, and again said no. This conversation happened a little over 2 weeks ago, and she seems to be pissed off about it still, not really talking to me and sleeping in the guest room. I've tried to get her to talk to me about it, but she just brushes me off and says that it's not important anymore. I've been venting to friends about it, and a few of my friends brought up that maybe she's already cheated or is cheating and is trying to cover it up, or maybe she has someone in mind that she wants to bang. I doubted it at first, but now I wonder because she has been a little more distant and just overall off, even before the whole open relationship talk. We haven't been having sex as often as we used to, but I chalk that up to it being because of my hectic work schedule. I'm not sure what to do. I'm afraid that if I start digging, I won't like what I find. Edit/mini update. I'm going to either snoop in her phone or confront her about it. I love her, but I also don't want to be played. If she's hiding something, I will find out. Update. 4 days later. It's super late, but I'm numb, sobering up, and just can't freaking sleep. This freaking sucks, but I need to get this off my chest and out my head. So, a few days ago, I posted about how my GF of 3 years asked me for an open relationship or to try a poly relationship. I actually got to sit her down to talk the next day after posting about it and asked her why she brought it up again. She asked in the past, in the beginning of our relationship, after dating for so long. She repeated that she just wanted to spice up our love life, and I asked her, how would that spice things up though? The only one who's going to find it sexy is you because you know that I'm not into that. She said something about how I should be open-minded about it because so many people wish they had a partner like her that would be okay with them screwing other people. I said, yeah, if they were into that, then I'd get that. After a little more back and forth and talking in circles, I just said, listen, if you want to screw someone else, then just say that. However, we'll be over. I love you, but if you want this, then you should go be with someone that would give you what you want because I can't. I thought that she'd be a little remorseful or apologize or anything, but what she told me, I assume she thought that I just broke up with her because she just got pissed and screamed out, oh, so we're over. Fine. I've been screwing her guy friend. Anyways, and I'm pregnant. Yeah, my lesbian GF is freaking pregnant by a freaking friend of ours. My hands are shaking just thinking about this again. I tried to hold it together, but I just couldn't. And I tried to kick her out, but she wouldn't leave. So I left to a friend's place and have been here over the weekend. My now ex kept calling me, but I only answered and told her to get her crap together and move out and go live with the douchebag, who I deleted and blocked because I would lose my crap on him at that time, then turned off my phone. I turned my phone back on this morning and my ex left messages. I called her to get closure, if anything, and asked her how long. She said since December when I went out of town. I asked if they fucked in my bed, and she said yes. I asked if this was the reason for the open relationship BS, and she again said yes. Lastly, I asked if she was planning to keep the baby and still stay with me, and she said yes. I just hung up. I've deleted and blocked her on everything for now, because I just need to distance myself right now. I'm gonna see if I can break my lease on the app we shared because now that I know that they've been fooling around in there, I don't want it anymore. For now, though, I'm just chilling at my friend's and will probably be here until I can get out of my lease. I have no more tears left. I can't tell if I'm in shock or emotionally broken. I took some time off work, but I don't know how I'll ever get back to normal after this. Thanks for the advice from my previous post. I'm trying to get some sleep now. New update. So first things first, thank you all for your support and advice. I really appreciate. The good news. That night I posted my last update. I definitely wasn't in a good headspace, but I allowed myself to grieve for a few days, then got right to work. I went and got tested, and I'm clean. No HIV or STDs, thank God. I went to my landlord and I told her the situation, as well as had a formal letter typed up just in case. She's always been a nice lady and was kind enough to offer me a cheaper apartment that I could move into easily if I wanted to, but I decided to just move out this complex. So I'll need to pay this month's rent. My ex won't pay her half, so then my part of the lease will be officially broken. I don't know or care to know if my ex will break or take over the lease, but that's on her. I've already got a place lined up and will be rooming with another close friend of mine. Bad news. It was about a day after I posted my last update that my ex just showed up to the friend's house that I was staying at. I don't know how she found out, but we do have like a pocket full of friends, so it's not that hard. I was under the influence and numb and didn't want to see her, but she kept pushing it and refused to leave. At first, I came out and told her that we should talk outside. Then I closed the door behind her. She still refused to leave, so I stepped outside to talk to her. Or she talked and I just stared at her. She started with apologizing and trying to put the blame on me being busy all the time, which, yeah, I was working a lot, but every free time I had was spent with her. Then she said we weren't having enough sex, then saying that the sex meant nothing with the guy. And then somehow it took a turn to her saying that now we could start a family without a paid for donor. I just remember going off on her and called her out for screwing the guy repeatedly and then trying to cover it up with some bull crap. She started crying and yelling back, but I told her to just go back to a baby daddy and tried to go back inside, but she pulled on my shirt trying to stop me, and I sort of pulled away hard to get away. About a day after that, my friend told me that she posted about how she left me for being abusive and that it drove her into the arms of the father of her baby along with pics of them together, apparently. The douchebag even tried to back her up on that bull crap, but almost every mutual friend of ours knew what really happened by then, and they absolutely blasted her until she took the post down. Goodbye and good freaking riddance to both of them. I only feel bad that the baby will have such immature parents. Other than that, I'll probably take some time to get away after settling down in my new place. I'm not going to hold on to that pain anymore. I did love her with all my heart and thought she was my forever, but she betrayed me in a way that I could never imagine. She knew about my past relationship and promised to never hurt me the way my ex did. I guess she didn't lie about that since that ex never cheated on me, lied, and manipulated, sure. I'm taking a break from love right now. Maybe I'll get a pet to start my healing journey from here. Let's see comments. I cheated so we don't have to spend money on an IVF. You know, for the baby we didn't plan or talk about, is the most insane excuse I've ever heard. Honestly, it's top 10 material in this sub, but top. It would have to challenge the art room and some others. This is a person who tried to secretly get permission for their cheating by just asking over and over again. They're not exactly winning any intelligence awards. One of the most heartbreaking stories I've ever read. You can literally feel the emotion through the screen. That man is honestly such a strong person for braving it the way he has been so far. Let's see another story. My 31M ex-girlfriend, 28F, wants to get back together but wants it as an open relationship. How do I proceed? My ex and I met earlier in the summer. We were together for a few months, and for the majority of that time together, things felt incredible. Before this, I went through a long period of endlessly dating, often questioning myself if I was even meant for a committed relationship. And it felt honestly fantastic to not only meet someone who I really like, but have that feeling be returned. Normally, I am a very slow and honestly avoidant person when it comes to dates. Anything more than one date a week was too much for me. But with her, everything felt so easy and exciting. All the anxieties I felt before of not wanting people to get too close too fast, of committing to one person, to really take a chance with someone, disappeared with her. Early on, she did say she wasn't looking for a serious relationship. She just had a terrible breakup and was still processing things, that she recently came out as bisexual and, after a long string of long-term hetero relationships, she wanted to explore her sexuality. That made perfect sense for me, and I told her that she should take some time and consider if she wanted to go forward with me, because I was clear that I was looking for a relationship, and if this wasn't the right time for her, I'd rather know now than later. A few days later, she came to me, telling me she wanted to keep seeing me. And soon, we were seeing each other all the time, texting, calling, sending each other things. A few weeks in, I realized I had zero desire to see anyone else and deleted all my dating apps. I mentioned this to her, saying that that was what I was doing, but she could do whatever she wanted. She said she'll think about it. The next day, she told me she deleted all her apps too, and that she only wanted to be with me. This was all within the first month of us dating. Were things going too fast? I didn't think so at the time. Maybe a little speedy, but I chalked that up to us just feeling really excited about each other. She wanted to be with me all the time, introduced me to her friends, wanted to meet mine, told me that she was falling for me. I felt like I finally found the one. However, about 2 months into it, I mentioned a thing a friend of mine said about us, how he approves of our relationship. She reacted very strangely to this. She made it a point to say that we were not in a relationship, that we were dating, not boyfriend and girlfriend, but she still wants to be with me and take things slowly, and perhaps, hypothetically speaking, maybe we jumped into being exclusive too fast and that we should try being open for a bit before really starting a relationship. It hurt to hear that. All this time, I felt that we were really starting to build something, only to be told that we were going too fast and that she wanted to be with other people. I told her I would think about it, but being honest with her, stated that going back on us being exclusive was painful and that monogamy was a boundary of mine. She saw how upset I got, even though I tried seeing things from her point of view and wanting to talk about it. She then told me that she didn't want to lose me, that she loved having me in her life and how important I was to her, and then we continued on as if nothing happened. She told me how much she enjoys talking about her to her family and how everyone in her life is excited about her dating me. And even though I felt confused by her wanting to slow things down, all without answering me what that exactly looked like and how much she enjoyed, well, acting like my girlfriend. Even though she stated that we are not a couple yet, I assumed that maybe she freaked out about commitment but was still willing to go forward with things. Another month goes by. We grow closer. I'm careful with my language describing us, and one night after a party where she very much acted like my girlfriend, and this is following double dates with close friends of mine, and her saying that she wanted to go on vacation together and meet my family. She brings up again that she's not my girlfriend, and that we're not a couple, and that she wants to open things up, and that I was being unfair for establishing the terms for our relationship. But the next morning, she wakes me up to hold me and tell me that she doesn't want to lose me. I felt so terribly confused and depressed by how unstable things became and how suddenly it could turn from frankly incredible to incredibly destabilizing. She pulled me close, then pushed me away, and then, seeing how far she pushed me, pulled me close again. I felt like my head was going to fall off. And then, out of nowhere, after nights of deeply passionate and loving sex and intimate moments between us, she broke up with me. She said she wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I was devastated. I tried to talk her out of it, saying how we could slow things down. But, try as I could, I just couldn't make myself be okay with having an open relationship with her. I tried very hard, reading endless blogs and subreddits on E&M and poly, and deeply searching within myself, but I just couldn't get there. It was over. I was heartbroken. She said she wanted me in her life, that she was afraid that I would hate her. I had to grieve and asked for distance and time. Fast forward a few weeks later, and I get a message from her. She asked if we could meet and talk, that she had some of my things that she wanted to return. By this point, I've accepted that it was over, that she had to figure out her own life, and as much as I wanted this to work, I can't force someone to change. We met, talked, saying how much we appreciated each other, and then I suddenly found myself back at her place with her holding me and saying how much she missed me, that she was wrong, that she got scared and messed up and wanted me back in her life. My head, that was finally screwed back on, fell off again. I hated her. I hated how unsure she was and how much chaos she caused my heart. But what could I do? Beneath all that hate was my love for her, and all these walls I built up to protect myself came falling down. I wanted her back in my life. We started slowly going out again. She acted incredibly affectionate and loving, saying how much she missed me and wanted me in her life. We walked together to the store, and on the way there, she put my arm in hers. I felt doubtful this entire time, telling myself I should have no expectations, just how easily she could change her mind again. But guys, I did love her. We parted. She made a date to see me again this weekend, and for the first time since the breakup, I felt hopeful. But hours later, I get a text from her. It said how much she enjoyed spending time with me and wants to be with me again. But, to be clear, since we broke up, she's been seeing both men and women and will continue doing so, since she's not in a place to be in a monogamous relationship. She still wants to be with me and feels deeply attached to me, but wanted to be clear what her terms were going forward and that I should hold no hope for a serious monogamous relationship anytime soon. Now I just don't know what to do. On one hand, I appreciate her being open and honest with me, and I want to be with her, and maybe I can date other people too, and perhaps I just haven't gotten what it takes to be in a healthy E&M relationship. But on the other, I just can't do it. All this pushing and pulling, back and forth. Every time I see her, I want to give her my heart. I just don't understand how someone could be so affectionate and loving in one moment and then radically push me away the next. I want a relationship, not a casual-ish open thing. And since this is a throwaway account, I also feel not great about her being with other men. I could understand her being with women, as in that's something I can't give her, but with other men, it just makes me feel so much less. Perhaps that's problematic, I don't know. I know I should talk to her about this, but I'm worried that if I see her again, I'll fold and convince myself that I'm okay with this, or that she'll change her mind again. Part of me just wants to cancel the whole meeting and move on with my life, but there's that pull she has on me and this insane belief that things could still change. I don't want to lose her, but I'm afraid of the kind of person I'll become if stayed with her. Perhaps I already answered my question and just want reassurance, but I needed to type this out and see it and hear what other people think. TLDR. Girlfriend and I had a short but intense monogamous relationship. She broke up with me and now wants me back, but in a more casual, open, relationship situation. I want to be with her, but the term of the relationship makes me feel very uncomfortable. Let's see comments. Man relationships are not roller coasters. They are commitment. They are valuable, honest, and respectful. They are big decisions. They are compromise and honor. She is not ready. There is a chance that she will never be. Move on, mate. Your life is not a game, and you are not a toy that you take out whenever you're bored. Value yourself, your time, and your integrity. Be better to yourself. Good luck, mate, and my best wishes to you. You don't need to find the one. You need to find yourself so you can know how to be with someone else. This is pretty simple to me. She wants to have multiple partners. You don't. You aren't compatible. The only times I've seen open relationships work is if both are excited about it. If the only reason one person has agreed to it is to keep the other person in their life. That's just desperation, and you're just going to keep building walls to protect yourself from feeling jealous and feeling like you're not enough until one day you wake up and realize you've built so many walls to protect yourself that you've just walled her out of your heart entirely. That's not healthy. Go find someone who only needs and wants to be with you. Move on. Let's see another story. She asked for open. I said no. She slept with her ex. Hi, folks. I, 41 male, have been married to wife, 42 female, for almost 7 years. I have a 17-year-old stepdaughter with her. She dealt with significant trauma as a child and was raised in highly religious household. Has issues with feeling controlled, PTSD, anxiety, and has been seeing a counselor for multiple years. I joined her for couples counseling around 18 months ago to work on optimizing our relationship. We went to CA on vacation around a year ago, had a couples massage, and had sex for the first time in a long time. When relaxing on balcony afterwards, she dropped the idea of opening our marriage from nowhere. This hurt me as I have always been monogamous and hold that deeply. This caused a fight and I left to cool off. When I came back, we agreed to seek counseling to talk about what poly looks like, etc. During counseling, I did a lot of research on my own. And while I respect the hell out of people who can live poly emotionally, it doesn't work for me. The matter got dropped, but we remained distant and sexless. She told me she was continuing to work on things. This last Saturday, she came back from a party and told me she continued to want an open marriage. That monogamy was a box that trapped her, and she felt like a gay person coming out in the 40s, and that the feelings of control in a mono relationship were too much. I did a lot of introspection and brought up suggestions to try to minimize any actions which may seem controlling, get separate finances, absolute freedom in social work commitments. She then told me that a month ago she slept with an ex as she was pushing the limits of monogamy and went too far. I have asked for a divorce and she doesn't understand why. To me, this is one of the worst situations. If it was just infidelity or just an open marriage request, that it may be something we could salvage, but this feels like any foundation of trust is gone. Am I insane, or would this be a complete crap of a relationship to try and save? Let's see comments. You got cheated on, plain and simple. She's going to do it again. You need to get your heart and your stuff out of there. I'm sorry, OP, that you are going through this, but stick to your guns and die on that hill and continue with the divorce. She cheated on you. Divorce her. Contact a lawyer. Get your finances in order. Stick to it and divorce her. That's cheating. She doesn't get a pass just because she communicated the interest of poly and went against your boundary. You're not okay with it. She needs to find someone who is also poly. If the guy she slept with is not poly and she just slept with him because he's attractive, that's worse. She didn't claim to want poly to be poly. She did it so she would feel better about having sex with her ex.